Welcome back to Studio Glob. Today we'll be going over how to glaze your pieces. Let's start by finding your piece on the shelf. If it's behind something, ask a staff member to help. Otherwise, if it's in front, you can go ahead and take it to your seat. Next, let's grab a rag from the cart and wring that out in the sink. Keep wringing until it runs mostly clear. It doesn't have to be perfect. When you're done, you can use it to pat your hands dry. Then wipe your piece with it. Just get all the dust off. Let's talk about these color palettes. The three of them are all the same color. One is for red clay, one for hand building, and one is for wheel throwing, in that order. Once you found a color you like, the number underneath should correspond to the number on the cap of one of the bottles. You can mix and match these colors, layer them, and do all sorts of cute details. So really have fun with it and take as many colors as you'd like and just bring them right back to your seat. We typically paint right out of the bottles. If you want to mix colors, you can use one of these palettes. We use these small brushes for detail work, and we use these larger fan brushes for general coverage. Inspect your glaze before using it. Make sure it's this heavy cream consistency. If it's more like pudding, it's too thick, let us know, and we're probably going to need to water that down a little for you. Speaking of water, grab a cup to wash your brushes, a banding wheel to put your piece on, and then you can use that to spin around while you paint. So now let's apply the paint to our piece. As you can see here, we've got quite a bit of paint on the brush, and we sort of just deposit it on the surface, flip the brush, and then deposit more, before going back and re-dipping into the bottle. We're not trying to thin out the color like you would with an acrylic paint. You want to leave it on fairly thick. This leaves you with about one coat, just like this. We're aiming for 2 to 3 coats. For darker colors like the green or the black, you're going to want to just stop at 2. But for lighter colors, you really want to make sure to get 3 coats in there. Let it dry fully between each layer. And if you'd like, you can even it out like she did at the end there. Now here's an example of what not to do. As you can see, she is completely drying out the brush in between strokes. And this is going to leave this streaky effect that you see. This will actually appear in the final result. If you want texture in your piece, that's perfectly fine too. Go for it. Speaking of texture, now's the time when you can add detail. Once you've added 3 good coats, you can put detail right on top of those. You can add all sorts of fun things like sponge painting, polka dots, flowers. People get pretty creative with this step, so really think outside the box and try to enjoy this part. Just don't forget that even your detail needs to get 3 coats, so really think through your design and how you apply it. Without enough glaze, you'll see the brush strokes come through. With too much, it might bubble and crack off your piece. To inspect the thickness, dig your nail into the glaze and make sure that this indent is about the thickness of a t-shirt. When you're done, put your piece back on the shelf. However, if the shelf is full and you can't find any space, ask a staff member and we'll assist you. We always assume that you want your piece dipped in clear coat. This makes it shiny. If you do not want it shiny, you have to let us know. Simply write a note on the back of your card and leave that facing up on your piece on the shelf. All that's left to do now is to wash out your brushes in the water cup provided, pat them dry with your cloth, and then take that water to the mystery glaze bucket. Don't pour all of it out. You're going to want to swish the glaze in the bottom to loosen those little bits up, and then pour the rest out. You can use your damp cloth to wipe down the wheel, and then you can also use it to wipe down the tabletop. Again, this is a pottery studio. It doesn't have to be perfect. Put your glazes back, and then put all the rest of your supplies back. If your cloth is clean enough, you can put it back on the cart. If it's dirty, you can toss it in the dirty rags bucket. Thank you again for choosing Studio Glob, and we hope you enjoyed your experience. Have a nice day.